Hi, you've been watching my videos, well, you know my name's Lyle and all that. This is like a video series that I've been running called 40 Concepts for 3D People. I've got a few videos down now, so I'm going to be doing another one. It's kind of similar. I did my last video on Auric Vision, but it's a little bit closer to just like... Auric Vision is simple in comparison to how deep it gets. Like, for example, you can look at a tree and you can see the aura around a tree. You can look at a person, you can see the aura around a person. But I've been reading this book that I'm a little bit into right now. A bit past halfway. It's The Way of the Yaqui Mexican Shamans. Damn it, I completely forget, but you're all gonna know the title if you. Carlos Castaneda, and it's pretty much, it's the teachings of Don Juan. Then there's like a subtitle about the Yaqui. I can't remember the exact full title. I'm gonna stop talking about that though. There were a few interesting things in the book that really made me want to try some things out. For example, near the beginning of the book, Don Juan asks Carlos to sit on his porch and find the best spot for him, because Don Juan's found his best spot, right? So they don't really, they give a few hints, and it's tied to Auric Vision. I mean, Carlos, for the first while, he spends quite a few hours rolling on the ground trying to feel spots out, right? And then Don Juan comes out, sort of laughs at him and says, you know, you got to use your eyes. And this has been like hours, right? After he's been like rolling around on the ground. So then Carlos starts to figure out that he can allow his eyes to sort of zoom out, and he can start to perceive space between objects, you know? That's so hard for me to do, but I took the example, and I was outside roughly from 6 to 10 o'clock. I found it rather quickly, to be honest. My spot in particular, there was sort of a dome of kind of like purplishness right here, and yet at the same time I'm not sure what facilitates a dome. I'm very new at this, but I could see kind of like, yeah, this, okay, there was a purplish dome and then there was a clear one, and they interjected like this, and there was a space right in here where there was this this sort of buffering energy wave that felt really, really nice. And you know what I actually found? It's a lot easier to, once you identify those spots with your eyes, feel them out with your hands. And I actually learned quite a bit of dowsing in this period of time, because I put one hand out here and one hand out here in the different spaces, right, just to feel them separately. And my first immediate, like, okay, I'm doing this wrong. So this hand right here was beating at like I could feel the flow of the energy going through that arm like that quickly, right? And then this one was just going So if you're taking in energy at different oscillations and at different levels of regulation, it's not gonna work, because it's really hard to process the differential if something's coming in at fourths and something else is coming in at sixteenths. So really, really, really nice trick. Put your hands together, and seriously, it's all about directing it from the shoulders. And sometimes it'll be really quick, sometimes it'll be really slow. You just direct your flow through your shoulders. So like, this hand will be going da 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 da. This will be going da da da. So you start by the shoulders and go, and then just like allow that push, allow it to push all the way, and then you know, and that's the sound I'm making with my mouth is kind of how it feels going through the body. Yeah, if you guys are into dowsing, I'm sure you got some sort of feeling of subtle energies. But okay, so we're at that point, right? So now we've got both of our hands that are tuned to the very same setting, right? They feel the same. So what I did at this point was, I backed myself up a little bit, because interjecting your hands into two spaces of like clearly different energy, you're going to be sensing two different energies, but you're not going to have a good palette to sense what's regular, you know, what's not condensed. So, you know, I tuned my hands. I put one in the purple pile. I put one out here, and I mean, obviously, the first thing was that I noticed that my the hand was higher up that felt a little bit different. I was like, wait, it's elevated. So, you know, I brought it down, I kept it out, and you can feel a slight difference, you know? It feels like there's more stuff around the hand that goes in the higher vibratory mix. And you could witness this between both of them, really. The white one wasn't as dense. The purple one was denser. But the thing is, in the middle, it had this really, really, really nice sort of peaceful combination. Don Juan also spoke about enemy spots. I found 2 of them. I've got them marked out in my backyard. And the symptomosis is exactly how he explains it. Like, your stomach will start getting a little bit upset. You'll get a taste of metal in your mouth. You'll start salivating. But yeah, usually those spots are, the ground's noticeably warmer. I noticed that, and the energy tends to make sort of like a vorticle in the air. Like just like it twists into one spot, and it's not a field, so to speak. My mentality says that there's coherency in the field, and that's why it made me feel better. But I don't know. I don't know too much about. I'm just getting into this, so I can't exactly say why these bad spots set me off the way that they did. But my hypothesis is interjecting energy coming into your own space, something intrusive, because it's a vortices. It actually has its own current flowing path that you're running into, that you're interjecting straight into, right? So it's not, so like you're just sort of like in the middle of something that's already been happening. It's just sort of fucking around in your mixture, like causing currents and like causing, it's so hard to explain, but like think of it this way. If you got a spiral in the air, you go stand in that exact same spiral, it's going to start cultivating your own energy. It's going to start pulling your aura into that exact same kind of flow, right? And that's going to make it incohesive. Like it's going to have a negative effect. So anyways, a method that I've learned that's really, really awesome for learning how to just sort of like see space, see the shapes in space. Always look straight on to what you're observing, unless you want to get the full shape of it. If you're just trying to see disturbances in general, just go right down to the straight eye level of what you're trying to see, not too high. Just like literally get right down on the ground, and from your foot to knee distance, where that would be, observe that area. It's easiest to see because you're looking straight on at it, and sidestep. As you sidestep, as you move across, but keeping that one point of vision, because it's so hard, your vision breaks all the time if you try and do this, all the time, and you can't keep the focus. So you focus on one point and you sidestep, and as you pass that that range of vision, those little lines, they pass, and you see them, and they click, and you're like, oh shit. And they become more and more and more and more apparent as you go. Anyways, I think that's all I'm really going to say. It's been a pleasure sharing this information with you guys. I'm going to keep working on it, and yeah. So, yeah, that was that. Ask me questions and stuff like that. Please, just go read that book. It's so awesome. I'll put the title in the description because I obviously couldn't spit it out for the life of me. It's got 2 ravens on the front of it. I got it at Chapters in Windsor. There's like 2 left. Go get them. Anyways, love you guys. Bye.